Hi, and thanks for joining me today. I'm really excited about what we're talking about in this blog. Last week we looked at Philippians 4:4, where the Apostle Paul wrote, "Rejoice in the Lord always, and again I say rejoice." And we know that he wrote that while under house arrest for 2 years, chained every day, all day, to a Praetorian guard, a Roman guard, just on trumped up charges. It was crazy, waiting to see whether or not they would execute him or not. I mean, his situation was pretty bad, but we learned last week that he chose to rejoice his way through this process, because this process was working. The gospel was working in him and through him in a powerful way. Matter of fact, the Bible says that he was unhindered. His confidence was unhindered. The gospel was unhindered. And it's such a powerful picture. So today, I just want to talk to those of you who are really living life with a sense of purpose. If you're living life feeling like, man, God's called me to something great. God really wants me to make a difference. And that's your passion. I want to speak to you today. And because the second thing that Paul did with all of these challenges he was facing, not only did he rejoice his way through the process and submit to the process, which empowered joy, but he put his problems to work for him. He employed the difficulty. If we look in Philippians chapter 1, he wrote this. He said, well, everything I'm going through is creating the gospel is going further. There's a furtherance to the gospel. He said, it's become evident to the entire Praetorian palace guard. The gospel's being evident to them that really I'm chained to Christ. I'm not chained to this situation. It's such a powerful picture of the gospel at work through Paul's life in the midst of difficulty. Listen, every time another guard had to sit beside Paul and listen to him teach the kingdom and teach Jesus, every time the gospel went forth, it made those chains look silly. It made the house arrest look ridiculous. Guys, wouldn't you like to live life that way? Where the problems that come into your life, we are so empowered by continuing to submit to God's process, the power of God at work in and through our lives as we're rejoicing continually, that it makes the difficulty look stupid. I mean, that's awesome. In 2 Corinthians, the Bible says this. Paul wrote again, he said, outwardly we're struggling, we're perishing, but inwardly we're being renewed day by day by day. And this light and momentary affliction, these problems we're facing, is working for us and working in us a greater weight of God's glory. It's a powerful picture. It's a picture of Paul allowing his problems to work for him. Guys, when you're facing difficulty, you can allow the problems to sideline you. You can allow the problems to take you out. You can allow the accusations to cause you to withdraw. You can allow the unfair, unjust circumstances that come into your life. You can allow them to shut you up and shut you down. Or you can continue to rejoice through the process, knowing that God is going to use that to help you fulfill your mission. Listen, the Apostle Paul didn't say, golly, man, I didn't sign up for this. Rather, he submitted, he rejoiced, and God turned things to where what looked like it was a limitation became a breeding ground of opportunity for him. A few years ago, I was struggling, man, as a pastor and as a leader, and it was just a difficult time, and we started having a lot of other pastors and their spouses come here to Life Center for some ministry and some retreats. I mean, dozens of couples. And the Lord began to speak to me, and he said, listen, he said, Trey, if all you knew were success, if all you knew was success, and if all you knew were good times, and if everything was always going your way, you'd be pretty useless to these people. So guys, we have to realize that the challenges we have work for us. You may think it's trying to rob your mission and destroy your purpose, but like the Apostle Paul, it was enabling his purpose. It was enabling his mission, because he was able to fulfill his mission with people that he otherwise wouldn't have been able to. Guys, let God take your problems and allow them to begin to work for you. Submit to the process. Don't fight the process. Don't fight against God. Rejoice your way through it, and He will make you more useful and more powerful and more effective than you could ever be without it. My prayer for you is this, is if you're struggling, that you'll learn how to employ your problems. Put them to work for you. Let them create opportunities for you, and rejoice your way through it. You've got what it takes. Keep going. Don't quit. Don't give up. Keep pressing in and rejoice in the Lord always. You can do it. Thank you for joining me. See you next week. Bye-bye.